ध्वनिर्वर्णा पदम् वाक्यमित्यास्पदचतुष्टयम् यस्याः सूक्ष्मादिभेदे वाग्देवीं तामुपास्महे।
The Electronic Media Production and Research Center EMPRC of Madhya Pradesh Bhoj Open University presents an audio program of English literature. This audio program will be useful to the student of BA first year. This audio program is based on the second unit of first paper titled Literature in English from 1550 to 1750 AD. The title of audio program is John Donne as a Metaphysical Poet. To deliver the lecture on this topic, we have invited our subject expert, Dr. Vikas Jalkar. Sound edited and presented by Amar Bahadur Yadav. Now let's listen to the audio program, John Donne as a Metaphysical Poet.
Welcome to this lecture, which is meant for BA first year students and the students of literature. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the metaphysical qualities of John Donne. The lesson is meant for BA 1 students who have opted English literature, and the course content belongs to paper 1, unit 2, and its poetry part C. Dear students, in the last lecture, we have already discussed John Donne as a poet. In that lecture, we discussed about various features of John Donne's poetry. This lecture is with a special reference to the poems prescribed in your course content. So, John Donne as a poet with a special reference to the poems prescribed in your course content. Dear students, after this lecture, we intend you to know about the various concepts which have been used by John Donne in his poems, the use of concepts in day-to-day life, or whenever you start writing poetry. Identify the figures of speech. Students, you have come to know a lot about the figures of speech, and figures of speech are not only ornamental but also a lot number of sense is also involved. Then we intend you to describe John Donne as a metaphysical poet. In this lecture, dear students, we intend to cover the concept of metaphysical poetry, John Donne as a lyric poet, use of conceits in the poetry of John Donne with special reference to the poems which have been prescribed in your course content. Obscurity in the poems of John Donne. Again, obscurity. Obscurity is an important characteristic feature of Donne's poetry. It is very difficult to understand. You must have already undergone the 2 poems prescribed in your course content. Then, use of far-fetched images. This is also an important feature. This is my place last. You know, it's a piece of poem in your course content. We shall be discussing in brief about the theme of this poem, and sweetest love, I do not know, go a brief theme. And then we shall be recapitulating whatever we shall be discussing about metaphysical poetry. The word metaphysical has been derived from Greek metaphysika. Physis is, and meta means beyond, and physis means nature, beyond nature, something that's not in this world but beyond. According to H.J.C. Grierson, a poetry which, like that of Divine Commedia and The Nature Return, perhaps Goethe's Faust, has been inspired by a philosophical conception of the universe and the role assigned to human spirit in the great drama of existence. Students, you must take into note the word universe and the role assigned to human spirit in the great drama of existence. All of us are players and we are doing our parts in the drama. Metaphysical poetry is intellectual approach to prevailing religious spirit. Mind you, intellectual approach, this has to be highlighted whenever we discuss of metaphysical poetry. This characteristic feature is very significantly placed. The qualities of metaphysical poetry: joy for love, the sorrow for parting, and pathos of temporary separation. In your course content, the poems which have been prescribed to you do have these themes, and you may please read the poem very seriously. Reflection of personal experience. As we have already discussed in the previous lecture, John Donne had a personal experience as far as love poetry was concerned. So all the poems relating to the love theme had personal experience of a great sort. Another feature is the imaginative idea. Imagination again becomes an important characteristic feature of John Donne's poems and metaphysical poetry as well. Abstract general reasoning. Abstract means, that's true, we were already discussing about something that is there in metaphysical poetry which is not here only, but it is the abstract, and reasoning is also there because the experience which have been shared by the poet have been very easily enumerated in his piece of writing. And display of learning. Metaphysical poets were great learners and they had a lot number of qualitative features which made them very learned poets also. Known for unique style. Unique style, here we intend to say that metaphysical poetry has a unique style. That means they are, that's true, the qualities being far-fetched images. The main features: use of conceits, we shall be discussing about all these things. Wit, scholastic learning, again an important hallmark. Then argumentative poetry, that means arguments have been provided in your poem. Also the course content which you have in your course content, you can easily find the arguments being given by the poet. Elaboration of poetic expression and passionate thinking, again because of the experience of the poet, passionate thinking again is an important characteristic feature. T.S. Eliot called it sensuous apprehension of thought. This is to be taken note of. T.S. Eliot called it the sensuous apprehension of thought. Other metaphysical poets, students, yes, Richard Crashaw, Henry Vaughan, and Andrew Marvell. You must remember the names of these poets also because they also belong to the metaphysical movement. Lyrical quality of John Donne as a poet. Dear students, what is a lyric? Lyric is a poem of a single emotion which is intense, which is subjective, and also musical. It is also filled with intellectuals, wit. University wits, have you ever come across these university wits? Have you ever read of them? No, doesn't matter. Fusion of passion and thoughts. Again, a union of passions and thoughts. Passions here, intense experience, and thoughts, words. That means John Donne wrote lyrical poems, and what? That's true. A type of intense experience was behind these lyric poems. Again, a blend of argument, imagination, and passion. Just go through 2 pieces of poems of John Donne in your course content, and you come to know the argument he makes to show his intense love to his beloved. Yes, this is my place last piece of poem in your course content. This is my place last scene. Your heavens appoint my pilgrimage's last mile. Again, the Elizabethan metaphor. All of us are players, and we are playing our parts in a drama. That means life is a drama. Now, conceits. Again, a type of figure of speech. According to Helen Gardner, John Donne was fond of conceit. That means the metaphysical poetry had fondness for conceits. Now, what's a conceit? Again, a conceit is an elaborate image or comparison that holds our attention because it is so unusual. Again, the word unusual need to be taken note of. It depends on the fact. What depends on the fact? That's true. This comparison, unusual comparison. It depends on the fact that the two things being compared are very different from each other. And one of your poems, poet compared himself with the sun. That's true. Dr. Johnson, a great critic of English literature, disapproved of this kind of poetry for various reasons. He said, the most heterogeneous ideas are yoked by violence together. It's a quotation, and you must remember this quotation with special reference to metaphysical poetry. Sweetest love, I do not go again. In your course content, the poet says, when thou sighest not windy, but sighest my soul away. When thou weepest, unkindly kind, my life's blood doth decay. The poet has gone far. And what's the theme of this poem? That's true. The poet says that, oh my beloved, don't unnecessarily cry for me. If you cry, my soul also cries, and my life's blood doth decay. The poet says that his blood decays. Rejection of artificial sighs and tears. Again, an important theme of the poem. Unconventional mood. See, this mood cannot be found in ordinary poems, and this was an important characteristic feature of metaphysical poetry. He asked his wife not to shed tears. See, can you ever imagine this sort of statement? And the argument is, lovers cannot be separated. That's very true. According to Raleigh, to this unfettered and questioned thought, the real seems unreal, and unreal, what a statement Raleigh has made. It shows the entire characteristic feature of the poetry of metaphysical movement. Obscurity. What's obscurity? Difficulty. That's true. This poetry is very difficult to understand. When you started reading this poetry or two poems which are prescribed in your course content, you must have had a lot number of problems with special reference to the words and their meanings. Here, the poet tried to find verbal equivalents for states of mind and feelings. It's very difficult, and metaphysical poets did this marvelously in their poetry. Use of fantastic language, most trivial thoughts conveyed, and thus it also becomes an important characteristic feature of metaphysical poetry. Far-fetched images, again an important feature of metaphysical poetry, and all these features are found in the poems of John Donne. Yes, it's a figure of speech. The mental picture is conveyed by using comparisons. In one of your poems, which is in your course content, the image of sun has been marvelously described. And this is my place last seen again. An example. Life is a play and a pilgrimage. Death, the last scene of drama. Soul, ever awakening part. This is my placed last. This is the third sonnet in the Holy Sonnets, Divine Meditations. The important theme in this poem is fear of damnation and the hope of redemption. We shall be coming to this point. And depicts life as a drama. The entire metaphor which metaphysical poets used belong to Elizabethan age. Shakespeare also says life is a drama. So all the poems depict life as a drama. Fear of damnation and the hope of redemption. All of us have done a number of wrongs, but the God, the Almighty God, is there to console us. After our death, we also exactly go to the Almighty, and the Almighty is always there to pardon all of us. So the fear of damnation is on one part, and the hope of redemption. In this manner, our soul gets purified. Thus, the Elizabethan metaphor has been very intelligently used. Soul should not be damned for the sins of the body. As we know, Atma and Paramatma, so is soul and body. Soul is all pervasive, very pure. It cannot be questioned at any given point of time. And soul should not be damned. Whatever we do on account of our body, and the soul should not be questioned unnecessarily. So in this poem, soul should not be damned for the sins of the body. That is the message given by the poet. Sweetest love, I do not go. This poem is also in your course content, and you must be able to critically evaluate the poem. This poem is addressed to John Donne's wife, and it was composed in 1611 during the expedition of Cadiz and the Azores in 57. The poem was composed. The poet had gone to the expedition of Cadiz and the Azores in 1597, and his beloved was very unhappy. She thought that the husband would not return, but the husband says that it's not only the distance, but what's more important is the love in his heart for the beloved. So he expresses a number of sentiments and argues in favor of love which he had for his beloved. He gives a number of arguments. He has chosen a metaphor of sun also. As the sun goes and comes back, so does the poet goes, and he again says that he shall return back as early as possible, and there should not be any question in the mind of the beloved. That is the argument that has been put forth. Uses metaphor of the sun. Students, you read the poem time and again, and you find the use of metaphor of the sun in the poem entitled Sweetest Love, I Do Not Go. And in this manner, you shall be able to give the meaning of the metaphor. What is simile? Simile is also a figure of speech, and we make use of words like, exactly, that's true, but in metaphor, as. And here there is a distinction between the two figures of speech, metaphor and simile. Use of wit. Wit is a quality which can express an ordinary thought in a most impressive manner. Pope, again, Pope, which type of poet? That's true. Pope again belong to, what's that? Can you just remember? That's true. Pope is known for his satire. So he was a master satirist, and the entire age is known by the age of Pope. Example, this flea, you and I, and this our marriage bed and marriage temples, though it's not in your course content, but I'm giving example of the poem, a very short poem, the flea. The flea becomes an agent to unite the husband and wife. Flea bites the one, the second also, and in this manner the flea becomes an agent to unite them. Use of image of the sun is there. Yesternight the sun went hence and yet is here today. Sweetest love I do not go. We have already discussed about it. Sun goes and comes back. So thus the poet argues about himself also. Recapitulation. We have studied John Donne as a metaphysical poet with a special reference to the poems prescribed in your course content. Just to recapitulate, systematic picture of the universe. The poet provides us a systematic picture of the universe. Again, an important characteristic feature of metaphysical poetry. Display of scholasticism. John Donne, like other poets of his age, was also a scholar. He was trained in Greek language and literature, and this is how he had role models before him, and his scholasticism is also known, and this is also reflected in his poems. Use of contrasting associations. For example, sun, the Elizabethan metaphor. He has made use of certain contrasting associations in order to express his poetic genius, and thus argumented in a lot number of ways, and also shared his experiences, and on the basis of those experiences he became a love poet and also an important poet of his age. Lyrical quality. What is a lyric? That's correct. Again, a short poem of single emotion, intense emotion, which can be sung. That means all the poems and the poems in your course content have lyrical quality. Use of metaphors. Again, this is an important characteristic feature of the poems of John Donne. He has used metaphors very intelligently, and here are certain examples, and one of them is an example of the sun. So dear students, we come to the end of this lecture, and in this lecture we have discussed John Donne as a metaphysical poet.
You are listening an audio program John Donne as a metaphysical poet. Subject expert and speaker was Dr. Vikas Jolkar. Announcer was Prem Sharan Khemaria. This audio program was edited and presented by Amar Bahadur Yadav. This program was produced by the Electronic Media Production and Research Center, EMPRC of Madhya Pradesh Bhoj Open University in association with NITTTR Bhopal.